It's Coding here, and today we will do a video on the JavaScript syntax. So I'm just like to bring back the old stuff. I feel like as of now, I'm probably going to alternate between the CSS and JavaScript. Sometimes I might throw in HTML and Python when I come up with ideas of those, but as of now, I'll just alternate between them, and probably sometime I'll ask y'all whatever you want me to cover, just so I can make you like my channel and like my videos. Anyway, so basically we're just going to do a video on JavaScript syntax. It's just a set of several rules, and in this syntax there are 6 different subtopics which are all together involved in the syntax. 6, they're values, operators, expressions, keywords, comments, and identifiers. Yep, and identifiers. I'm going to break it down and explain each subtopic. So just open up your code sheet, and then so yeah, let's move on. Okay, so first are the values. There are 2 types. There are the fixed values and there are the variable values. So these both have another name to them. We can call fixed values literals, and we can call variable values variables. They mean the same thing, they do the same thing. So in literals, numbers can be written with or without decimals. So let's say I'm going to set up a JavaScript. Make sure we have something set up like this in JavaScript. It's going to be the same syntax as usual, or it's going to be like the same code as usual. Just going to do something like this. And then let's add a script. And then, what's a good thing? Okay, let's just do document dot get ID, and then let's just make it demo. I'm just trying to recap and remember the JavaScript code because I haven't done a JavaScript video in like a lot of stuff. And let's say .inner HTML. That seems perfect. And then let's say let's make it equal to 10.50. I guess 20.50 works. Doesn't even matter. What am I doing? That's perfect. Let's save it. And let me go back and find it. Where is it? Okay, perfect. So as you see, what happens, it's just numbers can be written with or without decimals. If it has any extra zeros after the decimal, then it'll just take it out and it'll just be 20.5. We can even do the same thing with whole numbers. Whole numbers even work too. Yep, whole numbers work too. So that's it for literals. Both decimal numbers and whole numbers can work in this situation. So let's move on to variables. Okay, so pretty much with variables, they just store data values. That's the only way I can describe it. We use the keyword var or var, I don't even know how to say it, to declare variables, and an equal sign to assign values. So I'm going to talk about keywords later, but as of now we use the keyword var or var. That will assign the value. No, it won't assign it. It will declare the value, or it will declare a variable, and then the equal sign will assign the value. So this goes after the script. Let's make it x, and then after that let's make x6. Make sure you include the semicolons. It's a really important part of the code. So if you don't do it, then yeah, it's going to be a problem. And then let's say x. Let's save it from there, come here, and then do that. And now you see what happens is that it will print whatever x is because that's what we wanted. So basically the document.getElementID, whatever, that's pretty much a way in JavaScript by saying print in Python. So if you've watched my Python videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. I will link it in the top right hand corner, end of the video, and description if you want to check those out. If you want to check that out. Okay, so let me just paste it up. I hope you're getting everything by now. We're still on the first subtopic, which is values. I always get confused and I flip the words values and variables, so I apologize in advance. Anyway, so I'm just gonna talk about scripts. That is the last thing to cover in values, or strings, my bad. These words, man. Okay, anyway, so strings, if you've watched my Python playlist, once again, you know that strings are letters. They can be written in two ways, double quotes or single quotes. So anyway, let me get rid of this. And then what should I make it? I'll make it my name. And I think, semicolon. And I think we're good. So when you save it, it will print the string for you. That easy. So that's strings, and that's finally with values. So all we just did is that we learned how to print strings, learn how to print variables. We also learned how we can print numbers and stuff. Okay, so the next subtopic is operators. Operators are basically the arithmetic signs that compute values. So like, it's just basically simple arithmetic. So if I were to do something like, what's something good? I'm gonna do like 5 plus 10, and then I'm gonna do asterisk 11. Keep in mind that for multiplication and division is gonna be a little bit different, because we don't want to confuse the multiplication with an X. So we use the asterisk instead, and then for division we'll use a slash, because there's like no way we could do a division. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I'm pretty sure we're done, and we are. So let's save it, and then let's open it. And as you see, it computes it for you, and it says 165. What did I even put? Oh, 5 plus 10 times 11. Yeah, so that's 165. So it just computes it for you. Then we're gonna do something a little bit different. So like we can like solve. Okay, let me phrase it like this. I think there's just an operator. I'm gonna call it the assignment value. I think is what it's called. Yeah, it's the assignment value. So the assignment value just basically assigns values to variables. So like we can kind of do the same thing we just did, but make it in like a variable format. So let's use the var keyword, and then x, and then y, and then let's make x 5. Let's make y. What's it good? Okay, 6 would work. What's good? And then let's make it x plus y. That seems good. End it there. And as you see, what happens is that it pretty much substitutes whatever we put for x and y. Since we said x was 5 and y was 6, it substituted into the equation. Where'd it go? Okay. It substituted into the equation x plus y, and it made it 11. So that's pretty much how that works. After operators, we got something a little bit similar, and it's called the expressions. These compute to a specific value. So if I were to do something like 5 times 10, and then let's make it a script, and then let's get rid of that. And as you see, it solves it for us, and it says 50. That is because 5 times 10 is 50. So are you seeing how this works? If not, then let me know in the comments, and I'll probably do a post on my website at kidscoding.com. The perfect time to take a pause in this video. Have you ever been struggled on a video that I've done? Have you ever struggled or have not been understood, or you're just simply confused on the lesson I'm doing? Well, there is a good news to that, because we have finally established a brand new website that will teach you almost the same stuff that I give in my videos, and it is a brand new website with all these courses that I made. It is still a work in progress, but as of now, the HTML for beginners is finally finished. So if you didn't understand anything in that, then you can go back there and practice it so that you can fully understand it and be able to be a full master. Be sure to visit it at kidscoding.com. Now let's get back to the video. So anyway, we got one more thing, which is a lot like it's how we put in variables, I guess. Yeah. So let's say let's make a variable of x. Remember, we need to use the variable keyword so that it can store whatever x is. So since x is 5, it will need to store that. So after that, we got x times 10, and when you see here, it becomes 50 because the 5 is plugged into the x, which when you then solve it, it becomes 50. We then have a way, it's called identifiers. Yeah, identifiers are perfect for the name like this. Identifiers are pretty much used to name variables, keywords, functions, and labels. So the first character must be a letter, an underscore, or a dollar sign. So it can be any letter from A to Z. It can be an underscore, or it can be a dollar sign. So numbers cannot be first. There's a reason for this. If you don't know already, numbers cannot be first because the JavaScript, it needs to be able to distinguish between the numbers in the code and the numbers not in the code. It needs to distinguish letters from numbers, and it can't do that if numbers are first. So another thing to add is that identifiers are very case sensitive. If you don't know, that means lowercase and uppercase are differentiated and are distinct, meaning if something's uppercase, it has to be uppercase. If it's lowercase, then it's different. So in this demonstration, I'm just gonna show how it makes an impact. How it being case sensitive makes an impact. So as you see, I have one lowercase and one uppercase. So yeah, and then as you see, after this, I'll do last name equals kids, even though that's my first name. I'm just gonna do it for this demonstration. Equals coding, and then remember, always do your quotes. Always do your quotes. Because since these are strings, we will need quotes. Otherwise, it's an error. And then semicolons are always needed. There, we're good now. And then let's say last name. That works good. And then and as you see, it says coding. So because we said last name with a capital N, it printed coding. But if I did it with a lowercase n, then it would print kids, which is my first name. So yeah, it prints kids. So remember, uppercase, lowercase make a big deal in JavaScript. Really important in the syntax. So that's it for everything. Thank you for 100 subscribers. I just got so surprised. I didn't even realize that. And sorry for no videos the past few days. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, we finished 100. Let's get to 200. We can get there soon. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, like, comment, do all that good stuff. And make sure to visit my website at kidscoding.com, and I'll see y'all next time.